It's an arsenal of hate and death from a man who used to be Justice of the Peace in Kaufman County, Texas.
Literally in the courtroom, we had a mountain of evidence.
Eric Williams' secret stockpile of terror.
And you recognize this as a lower unit to an AR type rifle?
Yes.
Assault rifles, handguns, a crossbow, even napalm.
We had over 70 weapons that came into evidence to show what type of person Eric Williams really was.
Hidden in a storage unit, now paraded in front of a jury.
I ask you if you recognize this as one of the weapons that was found in the storage unit.
Yes.
As a Rock River Arms lower with an AR-57 caliber upper attached.
Yes.
But Williams's most terrifying weapon?
You were a murderer.
Yes.
His wife and partner in crime, Kim.
You are Kim Williams,
Yes, I am.
wife of Eric Williams.
Yes.
Are you guilty of these capital murders?
Yes, I am.
When Kim Williams came out of the holdover to testify against her husband, you could have heard a pin drop in the courtroom. And she very quickly gave the jurors a glimpse into their murderous life and the planning, the meticulous planning that went on behind these murders and how they were carried out.
The lethal lovebirds both charged with capital murder.
She was a full participant in these murders, and although she didn't actually pull the trigger, she was there every step of the way. She helped. She was there with logistical support. She was there with moral support.
Kim Williams cut a deal with prosecutors for a 40-year prison sentence. Then, on the witness stand, she hammers nail after nail into her husband's coffin, describing in detail what Williams wore when he assassinated Assistant District Attorney Mark Hansen.
Tell the members of the jury about that.
He had a Halloween mask, and he had on a black nylon jacket, some pretty dark khaki pants. I believe he was wearing his bulletproof vest underneath the jacket. And he was wearing his glasses underneath the hood.
Ms. Williams, let me show you State's Exhibit number 417 and ask you if you recognize that.
Yes,
What is that?
that's the mask he wore.
How do you know?
I recognize it.
Testifying to her husband's rage toward the district attorney and assistant DA after being convicted of stealing $600 worth of computer parts. Kim telling the jury that was Eric's motivation for the murders.
In the days following his conviction, how was his anger towards Mark Hansen?
Pretty bad.
How about Mike McClellan?
Bad.
You got angrier and angrier?
Yes.
They embarked on this joint trail of vengeance and murder.
Kim Williams admitted in open court she drove the getaway car for Eric when he gunned down Assistant DA Mark Hansen.
Did you agree to drive?
Yes, I did.
You knew what was going to happen.
Yes, I did.
Why did you agree to drive to the murder of Mark Hansen?
I was so drugged up, and I so believed in Eric and everything that he told me. His anger was my anger.
Testifying he was almost giddy that murderous morning.
Did he have a specific name, or how did he refer to the plan in the parking lot?
Tombstone.
Tell the members of the jury what tombstone means.
Tombstone is a movie where they shoot people in the street.
But that former Justice of the Peace wasn't done killing.
Who was next on the hit list?
That would be Mike McClellan.
The Kaufman County District Attorney who worked with Mark Hansen to convict Eric Williams. Kim also confessed she was behind the wheel of that white Crown Victoria when her husband ambushed McClellan and his wife Cynthia, slaughtering them in their home in pre-dawn hours.
What did he tell you about how Cynthia McClellan died?
He told me that he had to shoot her an extra time because she was still moaning.
Then Kim sends a shiver down jurors' spines when she makes this chilling revelation.
Tell the members of the jury about the cookout y'all had.
We had barbecue steaks. Well, we had steaks on the grill, and Eric cooked those.
They celebrated by eating steaks after the murders to celebrate the deaths of the McClellans.
Even after killing McClellan and Hansen, Kim testified her husband still had a thirst for blood, claiming he actually made a hit list.
After the McClellans were killed, were there more on the hit list?
Yes.
Who was that?
Early Wiley.
Believe it or not, Early Wiley is the new district attorney who took over after Mike McClelland was murdered.
Could you tell us your name, please?
My name is Early Norvell Wiley.
And how are you employed?
I am the district attorney in Kaufman County, Texas.
Why did Williams want her dead? Turns out she was working as a judge and had caught Williams overbilling when he was a court-appointed attorney. That was before he was a judge and justice of the peace, and before he was busted stealing computer parts.
After taking over those duties, did you look at some of the problems or potential problems you thought might have occurred with some billing and with certain lawyers?
Yes.
Were some of those cases involving Eric Williams?
Yes. Many of the cases involving the attorney at Lydenwork representing the children did involve Mr. Williams.
Williams was reprimanded, and that apparently was enough to put a target on the new DA's back.
When you found out about this hit list and that your name was on it, what went through your mind and how shocking was that?
To know that someone, by the time I found out, had killed 3 people and he had me on a hit list, probably more than any of the other things, it was the most unsettling. And he was in custody. But to know, because what I knew was that he would have killed me and my family. Because if he killed Mike and Cynthia in their home, and Cynthia did nothing, he would have killed me and my family for what he believed was a perceived wrong.
How high do the hairs on your neck stand when you find out you were next?
Pretty high, pretty unbelievable.
And while District Attorney Wiley may have been next, there was someone after her on Eric Williams' hit list.
And who else?
Judge Ashworth.
Shockingly, Judge Glenn Ashworth was considered a longtime friend of Eric Williams, but the former justice of the peace believed Judge Ashworth is the one who leaked information that led to his conviction for stealing computer equipment. And Kim testifies her husband had something extra terrifying in mind for him that involved that crossbow and napalm.
How did he tell you he was going to kill Judge Ashworth?
He was going to wait until after Super Bowl, and he was going to wait for him and shoot him with the crossbow, and then bore his stomach out and put the napalm in it.
Remember, this is the same man who once tried to offer comfort to the victims.
First, I want to say that my deepest condolences go out to the McClelland family and all the people at the courthouse, most of which I know. I've cooperated with law enforcement. I certainly wish them the best in bringing justice for this just incredibly egregious act.
The gall, he was sending out condolences and his emotions and heartfeltness to the family.
I think they call that a sociopath, right?
Right.
Somebody, a psychopath. Somebody that has no remorse or compassion for people.
It doesn't take long for the jury to reach a verdict.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Eric Lyle Williams, guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
Guilty of capital murder, Eric Williams is sentenced to death by lethal injection. The son of former DA Mike McClelland, J.R. McClelland, says he'll be the one eating steak that night.
Ribeye, baked potatoes, big fat glass of sweet tea.
Putting your hands on him crossed your mind.
Yes, ma'am. But it wasn't worth ruining my life.
And prosecutors believe they stopped what they call a cold and calculated killing machine just in the nick of time.
Had you not cracked this case and apprehended Eric Williams, would you have had other bodies on your hands?
Oh, I think so. I don't think the killings would have stopped unless we stopped Eric Williams.
One day after she was indicted, Kim Williams filed for divorce. She says she believes her husband had a plan to kill her and himself when he was done taking out all the people on his hit list. Eric Williams appealed his conviction. That appeal has been denied. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.